Was I sucked in by the allure of some of the sexiest makeup packaging I have ever seen in my life? Maybe. Maybe it's possible. Today we are going to find out together because we are going to unbox and play with 3 brand new items from Tom Ford Beauty. Let me tell you, I have very, very high expectations for these products, and I should, because this is probably the most expensive makeup I have ever purchased, aside from a Mothership palette from Pat McGrath Labs. So I am going to unbox this for you. I want you to get as much of the experience as possible. We are going to try each of these items. I'll of course give you all the details about each of these, and then I will give you my final thoughts of this first impression. I hope all of that sounds good to you, and if it does, let's get unboxing. Okay, so I have already shown you that my items came in this black box, and when you open her up, there is nothing, okay? No insignia or anything like that. We have this black tissue paper that says Tom Ford on it. I have another wad of tissue that's just, I guess, is it filler? Yes, this is filler tissue. And then, whoop, once we get past that, we get to the actual products. First up, let's talk about the largest item in this box and the one that we will be using first. This is the Architecture Radiance Hydrating Foundation Broad Spectrum SPF 50, and this retails for a whopping $95. Let's get this out of the outer packaging here. The actual bottle, very luxe. It's glass, it's minimalist. Love that my cats have decided to play in the background while we're doing a Tom Ford video. This foundation is described as a medium to full coverage 24-hour wear skincare infused foundation that creates seamless radiance at every angle, lighting the face to cinematic perfection. You know, I should tell you at this point that I have been under the weather and your girl is looking rough, okay? I don't know if this happens to you, but whenever I get sick, my skin just kind of like goes to hell in a handbasket, okay? And I don't know if that's because my body is like diverting resources to like fight off whatever bug I have, or okay, it's probably that my skincare routine suffers a little bit when I'm sick. But this is all to say that we're going to go through the claims for this foundation in a moment, and I think this foundation is going to struggle because my skin and even my lips right now are not doing great. This says that skin is transformed and looks more radiant over time, and that is because of the skincare ingredients. So this is a serum foundation. Queen of the Night, a soothing night blooming flower, niacinamide, hyaluronic acids, and botanical oils help to protect and strengthen the skin barrier. Before we put this on, let's get into an avalanche, okay? Let's get into an avalanche. Like I said, I've been sick. I'm rusty, okay? I'm rusty. Y'all bear with. The benefits of this foundation. This has 24-hour wear, it's fade resistant, and it is non-creasing, settling, caking, and pouring. Also, it says that it immediately minimizes the appearance of pores, okay? And improves the skin tone in 1 week. Wow. I mean, there are expensive skincare items. They're just skincare that can't even do that. You know what? Before I put this on, let me go and unbox the rest, okay? We can't wait to see the really beautiful, colorful items. Let's unbox the rest. Okay, next up, we have this is the item that had me at hello. You guys, I remember when I first saw the image of this Black Orchid Crème blush on Instagram, and I was just like, drooling. I waited and I watched because I was like, I have to have that. That is the most beautiful thing I have ever seen. And this is the culprit in terms of the sexy packaging and the color. I mean, it just looked so gorgeous in the imagery. So just opening up the box there. Okay, I can tell it has its own little pouch. That's good. Okay, points. Oh, yes, that is what I call luxurious packaging. Then on the front where the clasp is, you can see the name there. It's a little awkward to open. Oh, I think it's magnetized. Is that why it's awkward to open? You know what it is? I'm such a klutz. I'm afraid I'm going to knock this on the floor. That's why I'm having trouble. I went speechless. I know that was not a technical error. Gorgeous, 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 gorgeous. Hoping you can see all of the detail there, including the ridges that are carried over from the outer packaging. Wow, 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 wow. The Crème blush in Black Orchid. I'm gonna put her back in her little pouch. Go to bed now. You go to bed now. We'll be back. And the last item in this box that I purchased is the Tom Ford lip color. Here is what that packaging looks like. Again, carrying over with that beautiful black ridged case. It's interesting to me that this is square while the blush has sort of this scalloped or rounded packaging, but of course the foundation is squared off. So, okay, let's look at this color. Gorgeous. I think it's gorgeous. So now that we have at least looked at all of the products, let's go ahead and put that foundation on. So glasses off. And I haven't even swatched this, guys. This shade could be the totally wrong shade for me. I don't know. Here she comes. Oh, okay. So here that is on my skin. Let's put this on. And you guys know I'm weird. I use my hands to put on foundation. No brush, no sponge. I'm just gonna do this little dollop and rub this between my fingers. And should apply easily and blur instantly into the skin like magic. It does have a little bit of a fragrance to it. Not much. I'm just picking up on just a little bit. Okay, that was such a small amount. Let's get a little bit more. Let's do forehead. I'm getting pilling right now. I did my regular skincare this morning and I applied the Dr. Idris Disco Block sunscreen. So I did not apply primer or anything like that. I don't use primer, but I just wanted you to know what I have on my face. But it's been a little while since I applied those products, and so I'm really kind of surprised that something is pilling. This is a Radiant Finish foundation. And, you know, I'm typically more of a matte girl, but of course, that's what powder is for. Just apply a little more, see how it builds. And if it blurs out my glasses marks. So it looks really bad on my nose. I mean, really bad. Are y'all ready for a close-up? Because here I come. Can you see that? How it has settled into every pore on my nose. I'm applying more out here. Start working that in. Now, obviously, I will test this foundation under a variety of conditions. I will put it through a full stress test. I'll definitely test it once my skin is recovered from me being sick, because my skin is not in its normal condition. But still, guys, my skin should not have to be perfect for this foundation to work. That's the whole thing, is that you don't have perfect skin and this foundation helps. So why am I trying to perform for the foundation instead of the other way around? Nope. We talked about this in my palette ranking video. I ain't doing that anymore. Okay. So, not loving that. Not loving that at all. I'll have to see how it looks in natural light. But in these here lights, I think it looks pretty bad. Okay. We're going to leave that right there for now and turn to the item that I was most excited about, which is the blush. If this blush is a fail, I'm gonna have to like go cry myself to sleep or something. Okay, hold on. Let's get the glasses back on because I didn't talk through the details on this blush. So this blush is $100. $100. Woo! You know, if you watch me, you probably know that I don't buy a lot of what I consider like really, really high-end luxury products. And that is because a lot of times things just don't look special enough to me to warrant that price. I don't think that I have to spend YSL or Dior prices on eyeshadow for the quality of the eyeshadows that they're offering, or even the packaging. Like the packaging to me doesn't even feel special enough to warrant how much more expensive that is than say like a Viseart palette or even Natasha Denona. So yes, $100 for a blush is nuts. It's nuts. When I told my best friend that I bought this over text, she texted back, "You didn't." I was like, yes, I did. For some reason, this felt worth it to me. So we're about to find out. It says that this sumptuous formula glides onto cheeks with the velvety comfort of a cream and blends out for a diffused powder soft look. It is lightweight and buildable. It imparts a flush of dramatic, highly desirable raspberry pink color and subtle glow. They didn't give a lot of description on this because they knew they didn't have to. Let's swatch it first. You guys, I don't want to mess up the... I've never had anything like this. Okay, let's do it down here. So that is what it looks like. Why, yes, that is raspberry pink. Sort of blend it out on my hand. This is important, me sort of figuring out how the formula works. Okay, so here's what we're gonna do. I think I'm gonna pick up a little bit on my finger and dot a little bit on my cheek, and then I am going to use my BK Beauty 109 brush to blend it out. That looks like a lot of color. Let's find out. So just bouncing, bouncing. I think it's really, really gorgeous. I kind of love it. And I didn't powder first because I think this is supposed to sort of go to sort of a powder, and I didn't want to like lay down powder and then put this on and it go to powder. I wanted to be able to just powder sort of around it. So that is what that looks like. Just for giggles, so that we can look at different things on this side, I am going to blend it out with my fingers, just so you can see different ways. Okay, I picked up a lot more that time. Okay, so I'm going to wipe it off and let's see how well this blends out with your fingers. And boy, did I think the foundation was pilling before. It is really pilling now. So I think that's workable, but I do think you get a much more sort of natural looking application with the brush. Just sort of come over here. Yeah, it's just, I think it's easier to control, sort of getting the depth of color more sort of in the center, and then you're able to sort of pounce this to blend it out around the edges so that it looks more like it's coming from within. But I do think it's beautiful either way. I love it, and I am not regretting spending $100 on it right now. I'm not. Okay, and now let's put some powder on, and then we are going to do lipstick. I am going to use my OG Givenchy Prism Libre powder. Overall, I would say the powder helped, but I did have something like really lift away and go weird right here. My nose still looks like a pore minefield. The foundation is not magic. The blush is magic. Okay, and now we are going to do lipstick. Oh, I have here. Oh, details on lipstick. Okay. Black Orchid lip color. This is a limited edition collection of lipstick shades inspired by Tom Ford's iconic Perfect Flower Black Orchid. The formula, which also includes camelina and pomegranate seed oils, envelops lips in an ultra creamy texture, allowing for seamless glide. Sophisticated and modern, this impeccably edited wardrobe of 3 highly desirable shades includes 01 Black Orchid, a pink mauve, 151 Iconic Nude, a warm rose nude, and 19 Runway Rose, a rose pink. And I was tempted by all of these shades, guys. If this lipstick wasn't 65 bucks a pop, like maybe I would get some other shades, but I don't think that's what's gonna happen because I'm crazy, but I ain't that crazy, okay? This lipstick is long wearing, 12 hours long wearing, and it provides immediate and 12-hour moisture. It is 12-hour fade resistant, comfortable, and it is conditioning. So let's see how she goes. I think it is really gorgeous, and my lips truly are in bad shape right now, guys. I typically do not have a problem with my lips like peeling and stuff, and they have literally been peeling. So I think this lipstick really is high performing if it can totally sort of take away the look of that happening. I like the shade. I have a lot of more sort of pinky or just nudie lipsticks, and I wanted to get something different. And so here we are now with the foundation, blush, and lipstick applied. I think you know where I stand as of right now. I am very unhappy with the foundation, but I am going to continue to test it. The blush, I am absolutely, positively enamored with, okay? I think it is stunning, and I think the lipstick is really, really beautiful. It did glide seamlessly. It is extremely comfortable. So that concludes our experiment. And as I said, I will continue to test these items. I will definitely give you an update on how they are performing and whether or not I have developed regrets about spending so much money on these items. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope that you got something out of it, especially if you were considering investing in any of these products. And I hope that you'll subscribe if you are not already, and that you'll give this video a big thumbs up before you go. Thank you again, and I will see you next time. Bye.